Welcome everyone to the 2021 St. Charles Open presented by Smokin Disc Golf and the St. Charles County Disc Golf Club. This is the first ever A-tier being held here in St. Charles County. My name is Banden of BertBando Photography, and I'm here with my fellow Smokin teammate, Rebekah Kersey.
Hey everyone. Our competitors will be playing the blue pads all 3 rounds, starting here at Indian Camp Creek Park. This course requires angle control and will test every shot in the bag. Looking at our feature card today, we have Cantrell, Derek Green, Brock Rohler, and Jason, also known as Jake, Hebenheimer. We do want to give a quick thank you to Roger Jonas and the St. Charles County Parks Department for the many hours that go into keeping this course looking fresh as always.
Here we are, hole 1, par 4, 666 feet. You can see the long grass on the left and right sides of the fairway that play as out of bounds. You really just want to push as much as you can down the fairway with your first shot, really a placement shot, put it in bounds, and then play your pitch up, hopefully get your birdie.
This looks like a fun drive here. They have to get over this little pinched portion of out of bounds just in front of the red pad. And they're going to try to break off as much distance as they can, I'm assuming, but they need to keep it in bounds here.
Yeah, first we have Drew here. Looks like he's lining up a forehand. He's going to have to play it out over the out of bounds and hopefully come back in.
Drew is a member of Team Smokin Aces as well. Looks like he turns that over. It looks like it might be a little too much.
Yeah, that's not going to fight back.
Man, he's going to have... Do you think he'll re-tee? I don't know if he ever really crossed in.
Probably. There's not really a drop zone. And, yeah, I think he's going to have to re-tee at that point. He went out really early.
All right, next up we have Derek Green. Derek Green was the 2021 Red Team captain for Smokin Aces. And so right here, there was a car alarm that went off in the parking lot, and Derek joked that he was going to get that cut from the final footage, but looks like we left it in there.
Yeah.
Gotta love a laugh.
So there's a couple different options here with the backhand. You can go with a big hyzer out right around the tree, or if you have that straight kind of turnover shot like Derek through here, you can line it straight down the fairway. That's
close. That was a great shot.
Mm-hmm. There really wasn't much wind at this point in the day. It was windier earlier in the morning, but at this point it's pretty calm.
Yeah, I do think it might pick up again a little bit later, but this first tee shot, they are not having to worry about it too much. We have Brock Rohler here on the tee, and he's pumping a backhand out there, and I think he's just looking like he's trying to land safe in bounds, and he does.
Yeah, pretty safe turnover, just straight ahead. Here we have Jason, a.k.a. Jake. He's lining up a backhand. I can't tell if he's going with that big hyzer. Looks like he might be trying to go around the tree.
If anybody can do it, he can do it.
Yeah, he's got some power.
Let's see. It looks like he does try to go around it.
He definitely went over it.
Yeah. Barely stays in bounds. Oh no. Leaked over the edge. So if you guys can see that we do have some flagged out of bounds. We roped off basically the entire course just so there wouldn't really be any discrepancies.
Just over 10,000 feet of rope used.
It was a lot. All right, so here's the re-tee from Drew.
This looks like a much better line. Nice and safe.
Yeah. I do not hate the forehand play from that tee, just to get yourself into a good position.
No, it's tough. It's a little nervy on that first hole. It's a pretty skinny fairway to land in, and it does slope a little bit from right to left, so the forehand actually works in your favor.
There you go. Chip right into the green. Yeah, so one of the things about the holes here is that obviously there's the out of bounds left and right, but the greens tend to slope a little bit in one direction or another, which can tend to pull your disc that way. So it's just another thing to be mindful of.
Yeah, a couple of these par 4s especially, you have to play the slope of the fairway. You're not going to reach. Yeah, you're not going to reach the pin. And yeah, Brock got a hold of that one.
A little long on his upshot. So here is Derek throwing from his drive. He's in a great position. He's just looking to stick it onto the green and get up and down with that easy birdie for the first hole.
Yeah, he's probably still about 300 feet out here. He's playing an easy hyzer. hopefully skip up to the basket. A little short.
I'll give him a look, though.
And Jake coming in with the forehand again with the slope of the greens. A smart play.
And Jake is known for really mixing up his shots between the backhands and the forehands, so I have a feeling we will see a nice mixture of both today from him.
Brock here, you can see the flag just taking a layup. It's that downhill slope. It's a little scary.
Derek is looking to see if he can capture the bird and start the momentum for the day. Yeah, boy.
It's a good putt.
There we go. One
Start
down.
with birdie, that's always nice.
All right, so we have Drew here. And as a reminder, Drew was OB off of the tee, so he was re-teeing 3 from there. And he is now putting for a 5.
Good stroke. That can be a little tester going downhill like that on the first hole. Definitely give you some nerves. Brock here with a nice easy tap in.
Yep, and Jake is going to step up to hopefully put in his birdie as well. Very nice. All right. Well, hole 1 down.
Derek takes the only birdie there. It's pretty nice.
All right, we have hole 2. This is 510 feet. This is a par 4. Due to the angle of the blue tee and the tight fairway, most are going to have to throw over that right side out of bounds almost the whole way and like hyzer back into the fairway. So the key is really to make sure that they get back in bounds.
Yeah, it's tough. It's almost a blind fairway, as you can see, looking over that long grass. So Derek here with his tee shot.
He looks like he's starting to hyzer back in. Ooh, I don't know if he's going to make it.
No, he flipped that a little more. It was hard to see.
Man, that was so close. So I assume he will re-tee. We'll see what option he takes. Otherwise, he'll just go straight up about 30 feet.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, no drop zones on this hole either. I don't believe we had any on the course.
I don't think
day.
so. All right, Brock Rohler. He's putting a backhand out there, and he is just hyzering safely. It looks from this angle. Oh, wow. He parked the A-pin.
That's a great shot. Still a little to bite off to get to the basket, but should have an easy up and down.
Jake's lining up his shot. I have a feeling he's going to try to break off a chunk here, if I know Jake.
Yeah, he has some really, really good distance, especially off the tee. It just depends if you get it flipped over enough.
Did that flip up early? It's hard to tell. Let's see. Oh, man.
Fading. Oh, yeah, that's mashed.
That is so far that he didn't even have to worry about the out of bounds because he got past it.
He almost may be at a little disadvantage, though, if he got into that tree line.
That's true.
That's a tough... He'd have to go out and around.
Man, I never thought you could throw too far from the blues on this hole. That's crazy.
Drew, last to tee here, going with the backhand as well.
Ooh, that looks a little
needs to
popped
flip.
up.
That was steep hyzer.
Yeah, so that's the other error, right? Is you're a little fearful to throw over the right side OB the whole time, so then you tend to either early release or get a little too much hyzer on it and go OB on the left side. The only upside to that, I suppose, is that he gets to take the distance and he can go play up there from that left side as opposed to Derek, who is now re-teeing 3 from the pad.
Yeah, if you drift too far out over to the right, you're not coming back. So Derek looks like he got this a little high. Oh, and that turned as well. That's not going to make it back.
Oh, no. Man.
Oh.
Brutal.
Nightmare start here to hole 2 for Derek. Re-teeing for his 3rd attempt.
So he goes from taking the only birdie on the first hole to now going double OB off the tee on hole 2. Getting ready to throw his 3rd shot. Looks like he is trying to recenter himself here.
Take a moment, collect yourself.
Which is good. I really highly recommend that if you're in this situation. Take a deep breath and recenter.
Yeah, especially with the camera crew out there, the nerves that can be present, and any of these tournaments, especially in A tier, you want to perform well.
I mean, it's 3 days, right? So there's a lot of time. You You're not going to lose it in one hole. Just collect yourself and do what you have to do. So it looks like he's playing a little bit of a shorter shot. Ooh, saved by the tree.
He got lucky.
Ooh.
Yeah. Get him off this hole. He's ready to be done.
Lucky, yet still has some footing that doesn't look like the most fun for him.
Yeah, it's not a great lie. As long as he can get around that tree.
He does.
Kind of get down there. Yeah, he might have a look at it. It's tough to see with the line on that camera angle.
All right, so Drew was OB on his drive, correct? So
yep.
He is throwing 3 from here, so this is that distance we were talking about that he got to at least take it up further down the fairway.
Looks like a nice overstable putter. Skip on down to the basket. It's a good shot. Brock looking fresh as always. I think we have a name for him called Pretty Boy, I believe it is. Something like that.
I don't know. He backs it up with some really good play, too, though. So
yeah.
Ooh, left that one short.
Yeah, he's got a little tester there. Here's what I was saying with Jake.
Wow.
It's now a tricky line because he broke into the tree line.
Man, let's see if he can navigate these trees and toss one up there. Oh, wow.
That's a good bid.
That was good.
Still, though, from there, you're putting for birdie.
Yeah, that's true.
So you break off enough distance and just be able to scramble, throw that one scramble shot, and you can get your birdie.
All right, so if Derek can put this in, he will get a 7.
Correct.
Oh, that was a good try.
Yeah.
Good try. So he's walking away with the snowman here, and I have a feeling, I already know.
You can see a little bit of frustration, I think, in the reaction there after the putt.
But if I know him, he's gonna come out strong with the vengeance.
Oh, absolutely.
It's just motivation. All right, so Brock put his in. That was a good save for his birdie.
Yep, that was a birdie. Drew here looking for his par. And he connects.
See, this is amazing. You know, you can go out of bounds and still save par when you're making that choice and getting the distance.
Yeah, absolutely. It's pretty much a death sentence if you go off to the right and you never come back.
Yeah.
There's really, you'd have to throw a amazing, basically the distance of Jake's shot. Hole 3, 531 feet, par 3 with out of bounds on both sides. The fairway slants a little bit right to left, so the forehand is somewhat the ideal play so it doesn't skip out of bounds.
Yeah, they're going to be shooting out of this gap here, and the players will mostly, if not throwing a forehand, will need to be throwing like a turnover that stays kind of straight after it turns or kind of hyzers back into that fairway but doesn't skip. Brock's up first, and he looks like he did just that. Laced it straight.
Yeah, that's a great drive. Landed flat so it didn't have any angle to skip to the left.
Most definitely. Put him in a good position to attack on the next shot.
Jake lining up a backhand here, and this green disc, from what I understand, is pretty understable. So he's going to try to flip this up, which he does, but it looks like a little too much.
Look at that thing go. Oh my gosh, that was so close. I wonder where he crossed out at. We'll have to see where they mark him.
It looks like he made it up there a little bit of ways. So, yeah, we'll have to see. Drew here going with that kind of ideal forehand. Going to put it out left over the OB a little bit and try to let it come back.
Ooh, it might be a little too low out of the hand. That tall grass, it's tough because you have to throw high enough that you're coming in over it, but then not so high that when you come into the fairway, you get that skip that you're not looking for.
Yeah, it's really tough to judge that nose angle, especially on windy days. Luckily, it's not too windy today. Derek here with a backhand turnover, kind of straight. Oh.
Ooh, that was close. Wow.
I'm sure a huge sigh of relief there.
Yeah, especially after that last hole.
Yeah, I got the inbounds call. Drew here is going to be playing his third shot after the drop, OB. Looks like he's going with another forehand, probably a Firebird if I had to guess.
That looks nice. He just wants it to check up in there to green and give himself a putt, and he does.
Yep, good shot, just inside circle 1.
Derek's just lining up a backhand here. This should just be a routine backhand for him, just to get him up in there. Mr. Green wants to put it up into the green.
On the
Can
green?
he do it?
In the green?
On, in,
Yeah.
on.
That's
Either
a good
way,
shot.
he does it.
Oh, yeah. Nailed it. Jake definitely got some distance off the tee. Wasn't quite sure where they were going to mark him, but he's quite a bit of ways up the fairway.
Yeah, he has a really good opportunity to save par.
Hold on. Yep. Inside circle 1.
All right, and this was Brock's drive right in the middle of the fairway, desirable landing zone. He's just looking to toss up and get his birdie. If you look in the background, you'll see some people walking around in bright neon orange shirts, and those are our volunteers and spotters for the day.
Yeah, it was a huge help. It takes an army to run an A-tier. We found out for the first time this year with the extra TDs and volunteers on the courses and just the course maintenance with putting down rope and flags and stuff like that. So thank you to everybody that came out to help.
Yeah, thank you guys so much. We really wanted to be able to put on a quality of tournament here, and having spotters, especially at a course like this, is so very helpful.
Drew there, you saw put in for his par, correct?
Correct,
Yeah, he was able to save par.
And this is Brock for his birdie. Yep.
Converts on the birdie. Jake here, we've seen this a couple times, not yet on this coverage, but he's kind of gone to this horseshoe washer style putt on the right side of his body. It's a little bit different.
Yeah, left foot forward, comes around the right side of his leg. Not successful on that attempt, but I have seen it work for him. So he's sticking with it and just trying to work through those putting pains.
Yeah, it's always tough when you're in between stances, whether it be a straddle putt or just a straight on, putt like you see from Derek there. But, good on him for trying something new. If it's more comfortable and it works,
Most definitely.
gets it figured out.
There's no right way. The right way is the way that puts the disc in the basket, right? I mean,
Yeah, absolutely.
Hole 4, par 5, 841 feet. This is the longest hole on the course. It is tied for the second hardest hole, played about a half stroke over. You have OB right and left, and then once you get past that at the end, you have all of these trees that you have to navigate as you are coming into the green. So it's just different types of difficulty going from the out of bounds to then the trees.
Yep.
You can see here with the long grass on the right, if you want to throw a hyzer out to the right, you have to get it up high enough, but you really have to have good control of the nose angle. Otherwise, you may drift too far to the left out of bounds or never come back.
Yeah, kind of like we saw on hole 2.
Absolutely, yeah. Brock here just looks like he's going to flip a turnover right down the middle, cutting it close on the edge, but he's safe. Good shot.
Yeah, he's lucky that he got down. If he would have gone a little further, he might have crested into that OB there.
Yeah, you can see the top of the grass waving a little bit. There is wind. On this course, it's generally, some people consider it like a Kansas course. Whether there's high winds or not, there's always a little bit of wind moving.
Derek throws his drive safe right up the middle into a preferred landing zone. Should give him a good look for his next shot.
Yeah, off the tee, it's pretty much just a placement shot. There's two different ways you can play it, to the left or to the right, which you'll see in the next camera angles. But Drew put the big hyzer out over the OB.
I noticed he didn't go forehand on that one.
Yeah, he'll change it up. Maybe he's not feeling too confident in it.
Yeah, could depend on the way the wind's blowing on this particular hole.
Mm-hmm.
Let's
Jake.
see how far Jake gets down this fairway.
This looks like that same disc, that flippy disc. So hopefully he gets the right angle on it. Oh, yeah, it looks like he did.
Now he just needs to sit. Ooh, and he does.
Great tree. Well, tree love.
avoids that tall grass on the left side.
That pole stops, yeah.
And so now the option from here for Brock is he can go right around that tree on a big hyzer, which it looks like he's doing. He has to make sure that he works that disc back into the fairway. Otherwise, he could have played the left gap.
Wow, what a
Yeah, that post
shot.
you just saw, that's actually a perfect shot from Brock. The post you saw on the edge there, if you stay to the right in the long grass and never come back, that is out of bounds. So you would be playing from where you went OB.
Exactly. That would be tough.
Yeah. So it's a good chunk of distance there. Drew is kind of taking the same route out and around with a heavy hyzer over stable disc. And getting a good finish there.
Next up, we have Derek. And good stop, buddy. Let's see. I'm assuming he's going to go up that right side as well, just to kind of avoid the lower line on the left.
Yeah, the left is that like low ceiling, maybe forehand skip shot. It's kind of hard to get a turnover there, over there under the ceiling.
Derek pumps his out there, and he's filtering back into the fairway.
That's a good shot.
Yeah, should be looking right up into it. And this is one of my favorite lines to take, is this left forehand line. I like to come in on the left side of the fairway towards the green. It's a little more open with all those trees up there, but I mean, you just play this hole wherever you can be in bounds.
Yeah. Your second shot pretty much is just predicted off your first shot. And wow, look how far
He
that
just
pushed
made
up
it
there.
through all of that. Didn't
He's
hit a
got
single thing.
Great eagle look there.
So see, this is Drew's shot, and he just is gonna have to get around that OB on the right side of him.
It's not a Mando, but if you were to throw to the right over there over the long
Correct.
grass and it doesn't punch through,
Exactly.
you are out of bounds. So that's a good shot there. Looks like in circle one.
DG's going with the forehand here, throwing like a stable.
I think that's his recluse.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it's his recluse. It's really stable. Legacy mold similar to a Justice or something like that, if you will. Puts it inside the circle. Brock with the ideal landing position here.
Yeah, this is his third shot. He's trying to sneak one up there. Oh,
Just
Denied.
clip that tree. And Jake, I'm curious. I didn't think he'd be doing this from circle two. This is...
yeah, I wonder if he's going to step right through it. Nope. Oh, man, that was a great bid. Sit down, though.
Stop.
Yeah, that was a really good run.
It looks like it comes down in a pretty heavy hyzer. He doesn't have a whole lot of spin on it. But if it's accurate, I mean, he's hitting metal from circle two. It's a good look. Brock here with the straddle putt. Looking to get that birdie. Just short.
All right, Derek is up for his birdie now. Let's see if he can cash this one and keep that momentum rolling. Trying to recover still from hole two. Gives it a bid, and unfortunately not what he was looking for, I'm sure.
Yeah, missed a little left side. Drew, a little bit of an uphill through these trees.
Yeah, it's not a far putt, but it's not necessarily the easiest either.
Yeah, good putt.
I thought I was going to miss right, and I couldn't even see the right side of the
Jake looks to have a similar line. Has to straddle maybe to get a clean line at it.
Yeah, it looks like he might have to pop it up on a little Annie to get around one of those trees.
Taking his time.
Ultimate focus. Ooh.
Good catch there.
Yeah, especially with these baskets. I mean, these chains, they have been known to spit a couple out every now and
A
again.
little bit older baskets. Can have some issues here and there, but as long as you put it in the center, for the most part, should catch it. Derek taps out for his par. And we're on to hole 5. Par 4, 552 feet. It's a little bit uphill, fairway slanting right to left. So this could be another advantage for a forehand thrower if they want to take that angle. The backhand, as you can see, you have to go over OB unless you want to throw a turnover, in which case, you're not sure if it's coming back.
Right, yeah. So, hyzer over the OB, and then you're just hoping to not catch a crazy jump down that slanted fairway and go will be on the left side.
Yeah, you want to land it kind of high up on the hill.
Ooh.
Drew.
Wow, he just snuck that in there. That was awesome.
Yeah. And here's the other play here. Jake with a forehand. Probably something a little bit less stable, a little flippier. Just try to put it just inside that tree, let it flip, and then run up the fairway.
That looks nice. But it needs to get down, just not work up the hill too much. Beautiful.
Yep, good shot.
Brock's lining up a forehand also. You got to keep it low in between those two trees too. So it is a tight gap to hit as the ground is rising in front of you.
Yeah, it's a tricky shot. And Brock, there's that kind of flippy forehand that I was talking about that works really well. And then from there, you're just kind of pitching up the hill to get your birdie. This hole can get away from you fast if you don't get it back over the fairway, especially on the drive or any OB stroke. Yeah, you're gonna be.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like that's a lot of the holes here from the blue pads.
Oh, hold on.
Oh wow.
I think that one rolled out. We didn't see the spot, but that long grass right next to him is out of bounds. So I'm thinking this is a drop for 3 here.
I would have to agree with that. But that is a great recovery shot. Doesn't even have to really putt to save his par after going OB off the tee.
And this hole played under par, 3.8 per player. So it's definitely a gettable birdie as long as you stay in bounds. That's the tricky part.
Name of the game. Ring that up. That was a good run. Left him with a little tester putt. But, no guts, no glory. Gotta give him a go once in a while, I suppose.
It's a pretty good green to run as well.
Yeah,
with
especially
the uphill.
if you're a good putter and you trust yourself to make a comeback, more power to you.
Oh,
Ooh.
Drew.
Buddy. Yeah, he held on to that one. I don't think same spot almost? Maybe he goes up a couple feet?
Yeah, he might go about 10 feet up. Something like that. That was maybe just hung on his finger a little bit. Something happened. You can see the disappointment. Brock here just going to play nice stable hyzer out and around.
Nice shot.
And almost on the pole.
Yep.
Just when I didn't think you could get closer.
Yeah, right?
All right, so Drew's going to switch it up. He's going to go with the forehand this time.
A little flex on it.
Nice. Just chip up there. That was a good play.
Yep.
And we have Jake once again. This is that probably about 20 feet, maybe 25.
There are whiskers out there. I just can't see him.
They look a little past him. I think I see his bag in the distance, and I think I see one right next to it.
Oh.
Still kind of working through that putt.
Yeah, cage and then chains. It had a chance, but just trying to find it right now. Drew visibly a little upset. Knock this putt down. Come back on hole 6.
Yeah, so the other two guys will just tap in. That was Derek tapping in for his par save, and Brock is tapping in for the birdie. He is off to a pretty good start. Next up, hole 6, par 3, 303 feet. While this is one of the shorter holes on the course, it's still not super easy by any means. You're going to see a handful of players probably go up over the top. Other players will try to skip one through that gap of trees right there and up left around the corner. Just like Brock is doing here.
That's a good looking shot. Caught a tree late, but he's still right there in the middle of the fairway. Jake now looks like he's lining up a grenade. Gonna go up over the top.
Hey, Jake!
Yeah, and essentially he just wants to plinko down somewhere near the basket and hope for a putt.
Yeah, that looks pretty good just outside the circle.
Hit like that though, because it can bounce.
Might have a tricky little line.
Derek's up next, and it looks like he's also lining up that straight shot through the field goal of trees right there. And you essentially need to just cut left after that. There is OB right on this hole if you were to hold on to your disc and Richard it.
Nice. Yeah.
That's a good looking shot. Nice stable finish.
You see those birdie flags, though, and so far it doesn't look like anyone has gotten inside the circle. Let's see if Drew can do it.
No, you do see a little wind movement on the leaves there to the right, so the wind might be picking up today.
Oh, looks like he caught that first tree on the right and just fell down.
Still not a bad result.
No,
overall.
yeah, he's lucky that he didn't kick across right OB.
You definitely don't want to be left on this hole, especially early. There's a lot of trees you can see there on the left side of the screen that make it really tough. Drew here is, I think, going to flex a little forehand maybe. Try to skip one up to the basket.
Okay, that was not bad from where he was. He's just going to have to execute and make a putt to save his par.
Derek looks like he's got a long bid.
I mean, he doesn't really have any reason not to give this one a good run.
Oh, he knew it out of the hand.
Yeah, that's frustrating. We've all been there. It's a pretty safe backdrop from the direction that he was coming from. Brock looks like he kind of just floats one up there like a half bid maybe, because it does slope away from him behind the basket the direction he was coming from.
I think he caught a limb too.
Oh, did he?
Yeah,
okay.
at the top. So yeah, should make for a pretty easy tap in though. Jake, just off the mark again. He's hitting metal. I mean, he's right there.
Yeah, he's just got to just dial it in a little more. It's so hard to do mid-round.
Drew here for his par.
There you go. That's a great save.
Great putt. Good up and down.
Move on to the next hole. You know, that's all you can do.
Shake it off. It's a good recovery. Get you 3. I mean, none of these other guys are really shooting for birdie at this point, so.
Yeah, and actually that's an interesting point that you mentioned. There were no birdies on the day on this hole.
None.
No, not a
Yeah.
single one. So a 300-foot hole and not a single birdie. It's, like I said, not as easy as you would expect. So Jake's not happy with that one, and now he's going to be putting a comeback putt, hoping to get a bogey.
I'm wondering if we're going to see him switch that stance up a little bit. No, he's sticking with it. And good on him. Dial it in.
There you go. Cash it. Put it behind you. Brock's going to tap in his par. And we move to the next.
Hole 7, par 3, 339 feet. You have a lot of difficult trees to navigate here. There's a pretty straight tunnel ahead, and then you need it to hyzer to the left to the elevated pin here, surrounded by the wood. If you do blow by it, it does go downhill a little bit on the backside, so it's a tough comebacker. But you're going to see Brock here just put something straight down. You want it to hyzer left and maybe get a little bit of a skip.
Yeah, definitely looking for some ground action.
That's a great shot.
And you can be inside the circle on this one and still just tucked behind foliage. So you're really looking to get in that little area there that they have the fallen logs.
Yeah, right there at the front of the green.
Exactly.
Kind of the right side.
This looks like a good play. He just needs to work left. That's fantastic. Gets a little play off that log there, but gives himself a putt.
That's well within DG's range.
For sure.
He can do that. Drew with the backhand. He's had a few mishaps recently. Let's see if he can clear his head and put this one out there.
Hits that initial gap. It might be a little early, though. But it gets up
A little
there.
early. Yeah.
Edge of circle.
Edge of circle.
Opportunity.
I figured maybe the disc was going to be a little more stable.
Yeah.
So that kind of flew. Maybe he was going for that inside gap. Who knows? Jake looking to do something similar here, maybe outside that tree, and just have it skip right on up
Yeah,
to the basket.
right around that one. it's a pretty routine shot, but it can be nervy if your brain's not in the right place.
Definitely. And yeah, if you get one of them early trees, can take a bad kickoff to the left.
Yeah, for sure. I know from experience. All right, so Drew's just looking to put one up and in and help his scorecard, but unfortunately he doesn't do it.
A little bit high. Like I said, you got that little bit of elevation on this basket, can make it a little bit tricky, and it falls off behind the pin. So you want to make sure you at least hit metal. It's a good putt, right on the pole.
Yeah, just a little something extra to think about. As if there's not already enough, Rob. Let's just give you one more thing.
Wet ground conditions, some wind here and there.
Tall grass
Yep.
everywhere.
See, this is kind of what Rebekah mentioned earlier. You have a little bit of foliage just off the green. And depending on your delivery, those leaves below can kind of hold you up or just be right in your ear.
Yeah, I threw mine a little long and had to straddle out of that and was not successful. Let's see if Derek... Ooh. He puts it up there, just that right side leaked out.
It's a tough miss.
Yeah. This is one of those holes that you want to get, especially for people who play this course pretty frequently. You know exactly what you're going to throw every time.
Yeah, it's kind of a birdie or bust.
Yeah.
If you think about it. Still a relatively short hole, 339 feet. Average 3.1 on the day, so just barely over par.
Hole 8. Par 3, 447 feet. You only have OB on the right side, but the left side is full of trees and other junk that you don't even want to mess with. The basket is tucked at the end of the left side of the fairway. It's cleared out a little bit. It has a few trees in the way that you can get stuck behind. Most of these players are just going to throw a big hyzer up on that right side of the fairway and let it work around those mature trees in the middle.
Yeah, some of them may play like a flip up down the middle, depending. Brock's been kind of throwing that today. But yeah, no, you called it. Get that hyzer out there around. Let it crash in. You don't want to go too far like that, though.
Yeah, and there are some gaps in there. You can still get up and down. It's not as awful as it looks, but ideally you want to work yourself back into the fairway. And some of these guys, like Jake, I'm assuming he can get there. So I would love to see a birdie on this, Rob.
Yeah, 450 is well within his range. As long as he gets this to flip up and keep pushing.
Looks like it has a chance. Oh, man.
That's a great shot. Caught that little tree that might have gave him a little bit of extra distance.
Yep, just at the end there.
But I think he may still have a pretty decent look at it, too. DG. Lining up that backhand. You're pretty much aiming right over the spotter's head there where you see the orange shirt. Throw that hyzer out a little bit over the OB. And let it crash in.
So I noticed that Derek is wearing pink. This tournament took place in October. Do you think that's a shout out to like breast cancer awareness?
Oh, absolutely.
Oh yeah,
It would have to be.
I love it. Good job. Thanks for supporting. Save the tatas.
Save the tatas. Drew here.
And another big hyzer. Oh, no, I mean, I don't. It's just the play for the guys who have the arm,
Just a little short. You got quite a bit of foliage there in between, as you can see Brock here. With the pin being tucked in behind the woods, this is really a scramble shot.
Yeah, and the tricky thing about this shot is like you could throw a flex forehand that would stay left, but you have to slice through all of this stuff, right? And so if you try to come out from the right side of the fairway in, there's a lot of low branches, and it's just a weird angle to come in on a little anti-flex like that. So sometimes you'll see like a cut roller, but...
I like the design, though, with it coming in and then it falls off behind the basket. So with your upshot, look at DG.
Oh my
Great
gosh,
putt.
that was nasty. Great putt.
Yeah, wave to the fans, buddy. That's a great putt.
There you go. Look at that pep in this step. That was awesome.
Drew's almost in the same spot.
Yeah, it looks like he can see it from there. And I assume it looks like he's outside the circle, so he could like fall through on this one if he needed to get an extra push behind it.
Not enough.
Not enough turn on it, yeah. Just
Good
kind
up,
of
though.
died out.
You can take your 3 from there.
Well, you know, I wanted to see a birdie, and I got it.
You got a birdie.
That was awesome. Thanks for not disappointing, DG.
Jake back to the standard style putt here.
And he sails that one long
Yeah.
over the top.
Sailed it. It is downhill back there, so he's now edge of circle, maybe just outside.
Yeah, at this point, if I'm him, I'm just trying to think about not thinking about the strokes that I've missed on the green and just really try to keep battling through this round and hope that my distance is going to, you know, help me earn some of those strokes back. But it can't be easy.
On a course like this that's longer, he does, you know, have a bit of an advantage. However, yeah, if you're having woes on the putting green, that's a rough day for anybody.
Yeah, speaking of woes, Brock just missed that one. So we will move to Drew.
Putt there.
And I say, well, I
Nice
mean,
finish.
Brock's 4 under, so it's not like he's playing bad by any means, but I don't often see him miss a putt.
No.
So
He's usually dialed in on the green.
he does lose one there, though. And let's see, we have Jake tapping in. That
I'm
puts him.
surprised to see Brock's top button unbuttoned. Usually he's got that thing going. Hole 9, par 3, 414 feet. This is another hyzer play, to be honest. With this pin now tucked all the way back in the C location, the out of bounds you can't see. You may be able to see the flags here. The out of bounds is only about 20 to 25 feet behind the basket. So if you push too far, you could be out of bounds long, or the long grass on the right is OB as well.
So we see Derek's shot. He just threw a big hyzer and he landed by the B location. And so this is another one of those angles from the blue pads where you have to throw out over the OB and hyzer back into the fairway. Just adding a little layer of difficulty here. The left side is littered with trees. It's a tree line. It's not OB unless you go up further.
Correct.
Whoa.
That's a good shot. He is just outside the edge of the circle there.
That's where that dangerous putt happens, though.
Yeah,
with
that's
the
true.
background.
That's true because you're right. That OB comes into play not too far behind the basket. Brock's up next.
Lining up probably a fairway, maybe. No, 414, probably a driver. You can see the white pole over there. As long as you make it past that white pole, you're in bounds.
Yeah, and so
Or no,
there
I'm
there
sorry.
was some OB left over there.
Past the white pole is out of bounds.
Correct. Yeah, yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. That bush knocked Brock down, so I think he is in bounds.
Jake gonna send that big hyzer out there. He definitely has the distance.
He held that one out right enough, and with a great skip, it gets him up with a great look for a 2.
I want to see him get this birdie here.
Yeah, that'd be nice. I'd like to see that.
Inside the circle.
Get a feel for that stroke, and then plow through the rest of this round.
DG is gonna give this probably a nice jump putt bid.
Slings it up there,
Hold it.
and
Ooh.
just low, but right on line. Looks like he was like maybe still feeling it after canning that last one.
You got to feel good after it. At,
Man,
at that
I know I
point,
would.
you're hoping everything goes in.
I love it.
Brock gonna play that similar kind of forehand.
Just let it float over there.
Yeah. Just a little chip shot.
Yep, he's just putting himself in position to make a putt. He's just going to trust his putting. Drew just outside the circle.
I want to see Drew get this birdie here too.
Yeah, let's go, kid.
Just off the mark.
Yeah, he's lucky he stayed in bounds, didn't like catch a little edge and roll. Like we said, it's not too far past that it comes into play.
Brock looking to tap in his 3 here.
We call that a tap in? I don't know. Those make my knees buckle a little
Yeah,
bit.
that's true. But for him, you know,
No, yeah.
usually he's lights out on the green.
Yeah, for sure. Next up, we have Drew, and he needs to put this in to save par. And you see Jake in the
Jake's
background
faking
working, working through it. I don't think he's gonna like that.
No, Drew's got to
Not
shake
after
it
that
off
try.
in the back 9 here.
Yeah.
Solid
Oh.
putt there.
He switched back.
He did.
He did. Yep, that was right foot forward.
He was even doing the warm up in the back.
And then I think he decided at the last minute. Nope.
Interesting.
Okay. All
Well,
right.
successful. Went in. Good switch, Jake. Here we have the rest of the guys tapping out on hole 9.
Okay, well, that does it for our front 9 coverage, brought to you by Skyheiser Productions. This is the 2021 St. Charles Open, and it is the Smokin Aces Tour Championship.
We have a couple good scores there, a couple over par. We're going to see how they do on the back 9. Don't forget, if you like the coverage, make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. See you on the back 9.
See y'all there.